Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice, because today we are going to be doing another episode of Terrifying Tuesdays, in which I review another movie in the collection of ones that my father left me. And this week it will be The Glass Tomb, which came out in 1955. And it is basically a circus barker stages a sensational new act. The world's longest fast undertaken by Sapolio, on view in a glass cage. But the act also results in several murders, a kidnapping, and a poisoning. I thought this would be a good movie to watch. It's in one of the. It's also it's a mystery and also kind of a horror thing. Starts out that you have the main character, the barker, he's retired. He has a loving wife and this really cool kid who dreams of becoming, like working in a circus like his father. But his father is just like, no, you need to go to school. You need to get a good education, and, anything to keep him from doing the stuff that he did. And he wants to, he has the idea for doing this little circus act where this guy will go into this big booth and he will fast for 70 whole days, right? It's a circus attraction, but it's not in the circus. It's just, this is going to be separate. But he needed money to do it. He didn't have the money. But fortunately, he gets called into his office, into a friend of his office. His friend is a bookie, a very famous or well-to-do bookie, right? And this is, these are not exactly law. He's not exactly a law-abiding citizen. Well, this bookie had gotten himself into a bit of trouble. He's getting married, but he had also had a girl that he had a dalliance with who is blackmailing him, right? And he's just like, can you go talk to this girl for me? You're good at persuading stuff, and see if I can, get her to stop, get her to do this. And he loans him £250, because I guess it's set in England, so he can start up his business, because he knows that this guy will be successful, and he knows he'll get the money back. So he's like, gets the $250, and he goes to talk to this girl. Or £250 gets to talk to. Well, it turns out that he knew this girl from before, and she's like, okay, it was a mistake, yada yada. She agrees to back off and all that. And then it's like, okay, we'll go, do that. And he goes down the next level down, or next level up in the apartment, which is where his the guy who's going to be doing the fasting lives with his wife, and they have a big party. Well, during that party, the woman who was going to be was doing the blackmailing and was going to give it up is killed for some reason by you know who does it. And I guess she was supposed to be helping set the guy up for some for nefarious purposes, and she's not going to do it, so the guy kills her. And then the police are onto it, so they have to try and figure out who did this. Not because, and this is the part that I have, not because there was any real jeopardy to the central character, because nobody thought the central character did it. But they're just trying to figure out who did it, not, just because it was, because whatever. And so, they're trying to get him to stop. They kidnap his wife for a reason to try and scare him off and all that. So he's trying to figure out who's doing it to get them to stop. And it's a pretty good movie. It's about an hour and a half long. It's, from 1955, so it's in black and white. It's a mildly entertaining movie. It's not as good as the other, mystery ones that we've done before, especially the Hammer ones that came in. Some of these other, what is this other one? Well, anyway, there's all these Hammer mysteries and stuff, the noir ones. So those were a lot better. But this one, it was okay. It's just there didn't seem to be as much riding on it than there were in the previous movies. And it was just, things seemed to be happening just because they needed to. The acting was good. And it was, as with a lot of these noir movies, detective ones, they're shot pretty well. But this one just wasn't as good. But it was worth an hour and a half. It was kind of neat to see a representation of kind of circus life, even though they really weren't in the circus. They were circus people in the city, and they were, they did a circus when there was one to do, but, so it was nice to see this group of people working together and, how they operated. And what they did behind the scenes to do this, this fast where this guy wouldn't eat for 70 days. And, hey, let's, how they operated to make money and everyone was working together. But it wasn't that fantastic of a movie. It was not as good as, like I said, the Hammer Noir ones. But I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5. Just say watch it if you're a good fan of this stuff. If you like it. Because it was worth the time. So anyway, it was called The Glass Tomb, 1955. Anyway, let me know if you've seen it. Let me know what you thought of it. If you watched it, like, subscribe, possibly share, and most of all, enjoy your movies.